65 Radio. This is Paul Catalina's Top 5 at 5:55. Presented by Slapsticks Comedy Club. For ticket information, go to slapstickscomedy.com.
Welcome back to Signal 365 Radio, 365 Sports. Today's top 5, not this week's. Today's top 5 bad fits for USC. Look, yesterday I thought it was good fits. These are bad fits. Bad fits.
Okay.
Number 5, Chris Petersen. Dude's retired. Let him be retired. Don't pull somebody out of retirement.
Well, you had Stoops on the...
Yeah, I know, but I mean, the Stoops is less retired than Chris Petersen is. Chris Petersen's riding a boat to work.
I think Bob Stoops is like enjoying life like never before. But okay.
Yeah, and I saw an article, somebody from it might have been Jason Kersey or someone had pulled up an article from a few months ago or somewhat recently where Bob was talking about retirement, and he's not coming back.
Yeah,
he's not coming back.
If you're going to go get a retired guy, I would get Stoops over Petersen.
I didn't read through the whole thing again, but like basically the gist of it was like, had you asked him at a point like in the past, he would have been probably gung ho. But like at this stage, going around selling vodka around the state of Oklahoma, he's pretty good.
He's on Fox pregame. He's kind of got that early Jimmy Johnson NFL vibe. Yep.
Number 4, and this guy's gotten some buzz for some reason. Greg Schiano. Look, he's only been good at Rutgers. Let him stay at Rutgers.
Yeah,
I
mean, I don't think that's if I'm trying to rebrand the entire program and try to turn this thing around. I mean, yeah, you're right. He has found success at Rutgers, maybe not so much elsewhere, but there is some buzz for him. Yeah, I mean, you're right. He is somebody who's getting brought up a little bit. So interesting to see where he falls in the pecking order.
Number 3, Lane Kiffin. Don't do it again. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm amazed that people are even considering that they would. You know, like the second time I think we brought his name up yesterday, but no way in hell do you hire Lane Kiffin again after the way the first round went. I don't care how different he might be or you might be or how many years have passed. Absolutely not. I mean, you know, some people have the philosophy and some people don't, but like when a relationship ends, you don't go back to it because it ended for a reason, right? And when you get back together, it might be great at first, but then it's just going to rehash all the old stuff. And
this relationship also didn't end because Lane Kiffin got so much of a better job. Like that's not.
It was just it was time to go.
And so I mean, he went to the Raider, like Tennessee, the Raider, all that thing he did. It was just, but no one in the coaching business that I can think of off the top of my head has more caustic relationships with people he's worked with than Lane Kiffin. And I just think USC, you don't need to do this because he's not a relationship guy. He's not. He's a me guy, and then what can you do for me right now, guy?
Well, if he's a me guy, he fits into Hollywood pretty well.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
But number 2, Jack Del Rio. I get it, he's an alum. I get it, he's had some success as a coach, but he's also an older coach who hasn't recruited in a long time. Not to say that he couldn't. I know that Herm Edwards is doing an okay job of that at Arizona State maybe early on, but I don't think this is something that you get into.
One of the chat room people, one of our great audience, said that they saw where maybe Mike Bone, is that his name, the AD?
Yeah.
You know, with me and names, might have been over in Washington, D.C. today.
And maybe he was.
I'm throwing out the chat room, and we know he probably is taking Jack Del Rio to dinner. Yeah. Maybe he's picking his brain. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not reporting that.
I would not do it. I think that again, he is an NFL coach. He's been an NFL coach for a long time, and while there might be some good things, I want someone. USC's biggest problem right now is their recruiting is low. I want a recruiter who's already established and not somebody who's going to have to build his recruiting right now.
Yeah, I think you might go with just somebody a little bit younger and a little fresher maybe. But, I mean, I think if they eventually land on him, I don't know that it would be a bad hire per se. But, yeah, me personally and probably for most USC fans, I don't think he'd be number 1 or number 2 probably.
No, I just don't think they should do it. And number 1, Urban Meyer. While I'm sure he would do a good job in the short term, ultimately, when things got rough, his health problems would pop back up again and he would leave. Plus, he's a duplicitous liar who will bring problems to your program. That's what he is. At me, it's fine. He's a duplicitous liar who will bring problems to your program.
You know, you and your hatred of Urban Meyer and Tim Tebow because they beat up on your Seminoles.
Urban Meyer stuff has nothing to do with Tim Tebow, to me. And it's a completely separate issue.
You know, you need to go get this out of your system.
Well,
sure.
The good news is I don't think Urban wants the job. Exactly. So they're not even going to have to really, go down that path. Kiffin, I mean, this guy got fired in the third quarter of his final game. Legitimately, that's what happened. The AD and I guess it was maybe the president, I can't remember exactly, but during the game, they're talking in the third quarter. They're meeting to discuss his termination.
Like they may have done Saturday with Hilton.
Yeah, and then fired him like 2 hours later, on the tarmac. So, I mean, you can't revisit that. You just can't do that. I mean, Del Rio, I think that they at least explore that opportunity. I think Meyer's a no-go. Peterson, we'll see. And SCHIANO, I don't think would be probably near the top of anybody's list, so that makes sense.
All right. You want Florida State to win, right?
Yes.
If, in fact, they hired Urban Meyer.
I would be torn asunder.
No, you wouldn't.
I would. Because,
if Nebraska hired him, that means they're going to win pretty quickly. And I would take that. That's how desperate I am.
While I defended him at times, my opinion has changed over the years on Jameis Winston. I felt really kind of guilty or confused about Jameis Winston. And should I be so excited about what happened if something bad happened? And that was the result of the national championship was Florida State not doing anything about a situation like that. So I get it. And I don't know what happened with Jameis Winston. I don't know. But I do know.
Because it was a high of winning, though. That's what I'm saying. That's my whole point.
Again, it is. But I know I would be torn asunder. I don't want him there. I don't think Urban Meyer's a good fit for anybody because he's not going to be there a long time. He's just not at this point in his career.
Well, here's a text from the 317. I think James Franklin's a great choice. But what about Matt Rule? He's making a bucket load of money with Carolina. Got a long-term deal. They're 1-0, by the way. I sent him a text on Sunday. His text back to me was 1-0. It wasn't thanks. It was 1-0. That's just a.
I know we got to go here, but I think that Rule, if the Penn State job ever came open, I think that's something he would have to take a look at, being his alma mater. I don't know if his desire to really go and coach college football again outside of maybe an opportunity like that, and that's just because he's an alum. But he's just always struck me as an NFL guy. I mean, he's an NFL guy, and I think he's going to stick around in the NFL as long as possible. But I think any program's lucky to have him if they ever get him again.
All right, a lot